idea of the show, Firefly, was very simply, nothing has changed. We've got more technology, we've got more people, we've got the exact same problems, personally and politically and ethically. I put together what I thought was the most extraordinary team and the most extraordinary cast that I'd ever worked with. When the TV show was canceled, the first thing I said was, I'll not rest until I find us another home.
The last episode we were filming was called The Message, and Joss came down to the set and let us know that we were canceled.
We were all pretty crushed, I would say. I don't think we were entirely surprised. There was a little bit of lead up to it. We were hearing things from upstairs that weren't entirely positive, so I think we knew something wasn't right, and it was very abrupt and very upsetting.
We had our party that was going to be our Christmas party that turned into be our wrap party. Joss said, I'm going to keep pursuing this. It's not done, it's not over.
We all thought that would be so amazing, but when does that ever happen? And it was so heartbreaking.
I fell in love with Firefly, I fell in love with my character, I fell in love with the other characters and the cast. When it was taken away, I took it somewhat personally. I was a bit heartbroken. It left me a little bit empty. I certainly had unfinished business with Firefly.
Yeah, I wish I never met her. And I wouldn't have failed her.
I just couldn't let go of it. And everybody told me that maybe I should, but I don't deal with grief very well and I don't deal with loss. So I gathered everybody I knew and just said, what can we do? Can we be TV movies? Can another network pick us up? You know, can there be etchings? I don't care, I need to do this.
It's broke.
Without this, engine don't turn. Engine don't turn, life support won't function. We don't breathe. You want to keep breathing, don't you?
We really just went in all separate directions and started pounding executives at cable channels and at the other networks.
You know the old saying.
When you can't run, you crawl. And when you can't crawl, you
find someone to carry you.
I do remember saying to Tim Minear, at what point does this stop being CPR and become necrophilia?
I guess we do all have different reactions to death.
And then the fans started rallying to our case, and people on the internet went wild trying to have the show resurrected.
I called Barry Mendel, and he went to Mary Parent at Universal. Mary Parent said, there's nothing hypothetical about this. I love this show, I get the movie. Let's do this.
This is the place. We'll buy you the time.
We are all kind of in shock that we actually got here. Not that we ever thought we wouldn't be back, but it just seemed like we all dispersed and we all tried to move on and get over it. And then the first time we stepped back on the ship was really surreal.
It's pretty extraordinary when you consider that this never happens. I mean, we're the Cinderella of movie making, of television shows. So often they just disappear. But this can absolutely be attributed to Joss. Joss Whedon, he made this happen. This was his baby. He was not going to stop. He was not going to let go. He did find safe harbor for us.
Joss has, over the years, built an amazing fan base through Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and Firefly and now Serenity that have been there for us on some of our darkest days. When the television show Firefly was canceled, when Angel was suddenly not renewed after 5 seasons. Our fans, when I say they were ready to march on the network, I'm not exaggerating.
We're extremely grateful for the fans because they're exactly what keep us flying, as Nathan would say. It's why we're here. We have to be completely thankful to the fans.
I don't think any of us were expecting what has happened with the attention we've gotten from the fans. It's just amazing. How do you explain that a show gets put out on DVD and becomes a cult hit? How do you explain that?
Nothing like a major motion picture to make you feel a little bit better about having your TV show canceled. Redemption.
Comic-Con was kind of an extraordinary event, and I've been going almost every year for 7 years. And I thought, okay, my TV shows are off, Serenity's still, just started being made. This is gonna be the year that not a lot of people show up.
Would you please welcome one of the best, Joss Whedon.
I was freaked out.
Last day of Comic-Con in the afternoon, and 5,000 people showed up to give us a standing ovation and to see Joss, see the cast, watch the first footage that had been seen from Serenity. And it was as if Mick Jagger had just walked onto the stage.
Comic-Con was my first experience with a large-scale convention that had fans that were very much aware of our show.
That was a big group of people, standing ovations, screaming. There was a lot of screaming and genuine excitement. You could tell people were genuinely excited. I love that.
It was just amazing that so many people seemed to be so aware and tuned in to the kind of stuff that Joss writes about. You know, it was really rewarding, actually.
We walked out there and looked, out towards everybody, just like, every single face, and everyone was just so happy to have us there. It was very special.
They came out of it just glazed their eyes, like, what was that? I'm like, that was fame.
I'm still trying to swallow my heart, get it back down because it keeps beating up into my mouth.
I was so proud of them. They were so cool. And, the executives who were there, oh, that's what this is. Because the Firefly fans, like the Buffy and Angel fans, like true fans, are just hardcore.
It's really extraordinary because the fans are out there, and that's the reason why we're here, is because there are people out there who got the show and who fell in love with the characters and the story as much as we did, and to just be smacked in the face with that energy was just extraordinary and surreal. I want 5,000 people to cheer for me every day of my life.
I can understand fully why people enjoy Joss Whedon as a fan, because I'm a fan too.
We're all fans of the verse that we've created, so we're sharing it between each other. And that can only grow. That can only grow forward and expand. I just can't wait for the rest of the world to jump on this spaceship.
I think the thing that's helped my work is that, yes, I'm an artist. I have things to say, et cetera, suffering, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I'm a fan. And it's a huge part of who I am. It's a huge part of, why I do this. It's not to make things that people like. It's never to make things that people like. It's only to make things that they love. And these people have just reservoirs of love that are impressive.
So it means so much to us that you're here. And I have one last question for you guys. Do you want to see it again?
Across the country, across all economic boundaries, across all socio-political boundaries, you've got this one thing that everybody loves.
I'm blown away by all the people in line here. They're not here for Joss for other reasons. They're here for Firefly and for Serenity, and that's just amazing to me.
I don't know of any other canceled TV shows that got made into major motion pictures, but Serenity did.
It's not the end. That's what I was most overjoyed about, just the fact that it wasn't over yet.
One of the things that makes this whole Serenity Firefly thing what it is that they do interact with us, and they do respond to what we have to say, which is basically how much we love the show. And what became of that is they got a movie. I mean, it was all of their perseverance, people at Universal, and the fans being there saying, yes, we do want a movie.